I got told by Johnny from Angel Maker. He actually told me about psychoframe because I was in between bands at the moment, and he was like, oh, this band is really sick and they need a drummer. Listen to them on Spotify. And I was just like, what in the absolute is this? I hit up Hunter and I just said drum, and just kind of hit it off from there and started talking a little bit. And I sent him a couple videos, and I was really bad at first because I did way too many fills. That was something I always struggled with as a player, and I actually thank Hunter a lot for that, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have broken out of it so soon. Joining psychoframe kind of forced me out of a bad habit, if you know what I mean.
Just trying to quote unquote overcompensate, just being too flashy type thing.
Yeah, exactly what it was. Because that was a huge problem with me in my old bands. It wasn't really a noticeable thing, but for me, looking back on what I used to do, it was what I would refer to as cringe.
Real quick before we start, I just wanted to mention that we do these podcast recordings live on stream. We typically do these every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. It's a way for you guys to kind of be a part of the conversation, ask your own questions. I find it so much more enjoyable to do it with a community of people watching than, kind of just doing it offline. So, in short, it's a lot of fun. If you're free, do check it out. If you want to support the podcast, you can subscribe to us on Twitch for the ad-free viewing and the emotes. And alternatively, you can become a member on YouTube. Memberships on YouTube are cheaper in most countries, and you largely get the same perks as Twitch outside of the ad-free viewing of the streams. With both, you get early access to episodes whenever they become available. We have a supporter-only chat in our Discord, as well as every second Friday, Yen and I do these supporter-only Discord calls that are a lot of fun. On top of that, you get to be the first to know about our upcoming guests, see some general behind the scenes, and so much more. That being said, simply joining our Discord is by far the best way to show your support. It's free. We've got a thriving community of people that just want to talk about deathcore and metalcore, channels for guitarists, vocalists, gaming, the usual. It's a great time. That's where I'm at 24/7, if I'm being honest. So yeah, come hang out. Links to everything I just mentioned in the description of wherever you are watching or listening. And with that, enjoy this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Brutality Podcast. My name is Dom, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Yan. And this week, we have the privilege of talking to Leo, the drummer of psychoframe. Leo,
I know, drummer. Yeah,
it's been a day. How you doing, my man? How you doing?
Dude, I just finished a giant shed with Bryce and Steven from Angel Maker and Shadow, and I am shot. Get a lot of sweating. I feel like a seal right off of the ocean, but I feel good.
That's the best way to describe it as I've ever heard. As Dom probably told you, we cannot shut up about psychoframe, so we're all extremely stoked to have you here, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
we're gonna have to try to keep the glazing to a minimum, but we do love ourselves some good old psychoframe.
So I glazed that band enough on my own, so all is permitted.
It's the one band that every time we bring it up, there's not a single bad comment that everybody's just like, oh my god, psychoframe, you know what I mean? Everybody's just super stoked. So the second we said that you would be here, people were like, what, so it's thank you for being here, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Dude, no problem. We just like playing breakdowns, and we're gonna keep playing them and gonna keep making them more stupid and more heavy. And
you make it look effortless, my guy. We were watching videos of your performance, and I'm like, how does he, you're just and it looks like easy, and it's and I know for a fact that it's a gnarly thing to play, but it's just it's crazy. You seem very relaxed. I don't know if in your head you're super focused, but you look like you're just enjoying yourself and doing your thing.
Dude, I'm not enjoying myself. Playing that shit is so hard. I could not, when I first got in psychoframe, I could not play that stuff at all. Like, I mean, I know I'm pretty fast, but that stuff is like a whole other level of fast, like humanly impossible to play. And I had to like sit in my well, not my basement, my studio now, and I had to just hash everything out over and over. So when I'm like straight faced trying to play this shit, I'm literally like, don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up the entire time when I'm on stage.
You gotta like not think about it. You know, the second you start thinking about it, that's when shit goes south.
I know, because it's happened before. I'll like think about, oh, what's happening next in the song, and then it will just fall apart. But thankfully,
like,
nobody notices it.
I know that person. Oh, that's a cool shirt over there. Ah, shit. Where the fuck am I?
I've like barred myself from not looking up, like, because there's a part in Raining Glass where there's like a slow blast beat, and I'll look up just to see what type of carnage is going on, and I can't do that anymore because it's distracting. It will absolutely fuck me up if I do it now.
People are asking you like, hey, how was the crowd? And you're just like, I don't know. I was looking at my drum.
That's exactly how it is. I don't know what's going on for most of the shows. I look back at the videos, there's some dude doing a handspring. There's 2 bananas in the crowd. I don't get it.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not surprised that people are going crazy. Like, I don't think you can hear this and be just like you. It's like you have to go crazy when you hear those crazy parts. But at the same time, being at your place, I do understand why you need to focus, because it's like, it's one of those things. When I first heard it, I think it's one of the first things we said. I was like, the drum is crazy on this, like really, like, and then we were like, they're gonna do that live, and so it's you know. So I'm not surprised, but I don't know if it's reassuring to you, but it doesn't look like that at all. Like the perception that we had is like, dude, he makes it look like he's just I think I literally said, he looks like he's just having fun and doing his thing. Yeah.
I'm trying my best. I mean, I got Hunter watching me. Hunter is like our god. And dude, that man is so talented. And I just try to impress him every night and try to keep it like the song and play to the song. And I'm doing my job. So
I can't even imagine recording in studio while he's here, and like it would be my turn to record, and I would be like, I can't play music in front of that person. He's like a mastermind at everything. I've never seen that. Like we're to the point here in which whatever Hunter does musically, we just assume it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah.
And it's so crazy because I've been like hearing about his other project, Mood Ring, probably since I was a sophomore in high school. And now to be like an adult and working with him is kind of wild.
It's crazy. And we were talking about that, by the way, like, and don't take it wrong, but like when I heard your age, I was like, okay, so this dude is at that level working with these people at that age. I was like, at your age, dude, I couldn't even play breakdowns on a guitar almost. So like, it's pretty crazy. It's quite an accomplishment to be at that step, I think. I don't know how you feel about that, or if you've been, you know, since it's been a long time, you're working hard. For you, it's just what you do, but it's quite impressive, if I'm honest.
Dude, honestly, in a lot of aspects, I did grow up really fast. So I do have a lot of people in my personal life that are like, dude, you act like you're 28. So I guess that's the trade-off for it, is that I feel like I'm older than I actually am. But I don't know, it's just a lot of hard work over time. Like, I've been touring. Like, I started touring with my old bands when I was like 17. So I've been at this for like quite a long time. And it was just kind of like, you know, hammering the sword over and over and over again. And now it's starting to shine, so I feel like I'm getting the fruits of some of my labor now.
But I mean, I'd love to, we could even dig a little bit deeper than that. I mean, you started drumming at like super young, like 3 years old type shit, right?
Yeah, around that. I think I got my first kit when I was like maybe 2, maybe 3. It was like a shitty little kid's drum kit, but I would just fuck around on that. And I was really fickle as a kid. I would like switch between instruments.
Like talk to me a little bit about like that. I guess like your parents got you like instruments. Like, did they play music? Was that like ever a part of like, you know, like your upbringing? Like, how'd you end up playing drums like from so young and to keep at it till now?
Both my parents were like ballet dancers, so they were in the art field and whatnot. And I guess my mom and my dad wanted to expose me to a lot of stuff, so I was always around stuff as a kid. And I mean, I found metal on the Xbox, so that came across later, but it was just really being around a lot of stuff. So I was around stuff when I was really young, and I just continued it by being curious as I got older.
Did you keep like, was drumming always kind of, because you said you switched around instruments, you were fickle about it. Like, was drumming kind of always a constant though? Or were there like years where you kind of didn't drum or doing other things? And like you said, kind of experimenting with other stuff?
From like 14 up until I was 16, I stopped playing for a really long time because I just lost interest and I just did more athletic stuff in school. But I think that was around 2017 or 16. Like that Purple Infant Annihilator album came out, and that was like, I need to learn how to play that on drums.
And you did.
And yeah, then I switched back. But that's kind of a feat
was when for someone who hasn't drummed for 2 years to be like, let's play this thing that's made by a drum machine that no one really plays ever. You know.
I mean, it was possible. Like, I started playing like Unearth and Slipknot and built my way up to that speed, but it was like my brain would not let me rest until I was able to play that stuff.
It's
impossible.
Yeah, no, literally. But do you remember which band was your like first introduction to heavy music? Like the moment you fell in love more with heavy music? Do you remember which band it was?
Yeah, you're talking about the Xbox and stuff. What games we talking? What tracks we talking?
One of my friends at the time was playing Psychosocial over his like headset. That was the first track I heard. The second track was, I don't think I remember what it was called. It was a Bullet for My Valentine song. But those two songs coupled with each other, I would just listen to them on repeat. And from that, it would be like YouTube recommended. And I would find this band and it would lead me to this band and this band. So it went from like Slipknot to Despised Icon, Infinite Annihilator. And then it would just go deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. What was it that kind of like attracted you to like the more extreme, like drumming and like that kind of like over the top, super fucking fast? Like, was it kind of just the challenge for you as a drummer, or was it the energy of the actual song? Like, what was the attraction there?
It was mainly watching those like early Aaron Kitcher drum covers, like on the shitty electronic drum kit.
Yeah. Yes.
And he was so fast and he was going so fast.
It looked like a rock band fucking kid, you know?
Yeah, and he was going so fast that the camera couldn't even pick it up. So it was those videos that really made me be like, oh shit, this is actually possible. Yeah, and the skinny jeans. Oh my God.
That's what I had in mind. Like, I always like skinny jeans, camera close to it. And I remember thinking in my mind, he might be the best I've seen. I do remember thinking that. Like, I think I've never, it was crazy. I think he did like Died as Murder cover or something like on Infinite Dead. And I was like, okay, that's just, he's crazy.
There's that one. There's other shit. I think he did MVP by Despised Icon. Yeah. And that really fucked me up.
It's like crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's like another fucking insane drummer, right? Like Alex Grind. Like he's another one of those I particularly enjoy Alex because he's super fast. Like I think a lot of drummers can be fast, but the way he plays, he like plays it with like his whole arms. You know, it's like he's like he's like banging on that
he's
shit.
Destroying it.
He's like a caveman.
Yeah, but then he also does like a crazy amount of fills. So it's not just like, cause that's what I mean. Like there's a lot of drummers that like they can play a blast beat fast for 3 minutes, but like the technicality of like the fills and the intricacies that they have in Despised Icon is just fucking insane, dude. And like MVP is like, we all knew Despised before MVP, and MVP came out and I was like, this is even faster. What the fuck is going on? Like, how is this possible? You know, right off the bat too, you know?
Dude, I was just talking about Alex with Bryce, and he told me that apparently on his pedals, there's a piece of the pedal where your heel touches when you do heel toe a lot. So say this is like the pedal and this is like the heel plate. Your foot would be hitting this part when you do heel toe. And apparently he has like an 8-inch heel lift. So his pedal, instead of it being sloped like this, it's like this high up off the ground. Okay. And that's how he's able to do all that crazy fast heel toe. So he's an absolute maniac.
So he has like less movement to do the heel toe.
No, it's just like super high up off the ground. It's like,
okay. Oh,
it's like playing on giant wooden blocks. Yeah.
Oh shit. That like doesn't seem comfortable for whatever reason.
Probably not. Yeah.
I mean, he can do it. The way he plays, he literally hits like a caveman. He is insane.
Yeah, and you were talking about Shadow of Intent. I mean, if we're talking about good drummers, I think he's also a very good example of that. Like when we see his freaking live like playthrough, every time I'm on Instagram just chilling, I see this and I'm like, okay, another crazy performance. And like he's smiling, right? Like he's playing and he's just like smile. It's one of my favorite things. Like he looks like he's having the time of his life at any moment.
Dude, he is the happiest guy ever. I just watched him shed drums for about 3 hours, and that dude is absolutely out of his mind. Like he was playing chops that I had never seen before. Like I would look at Steven and I would just be like, what the fuck is going on? Dude, he's crazy. And he also knows how to tune his drums really well.
That helps. That always
awesome.
helps.
And he's another dude that's not super old, right? I don't know his age, but he looks fairly young.
He's got a young face, but I don't think he's super young.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because he's been doing it for a while, but like at least it looks young. I could be wrong, but
I think it's the smile.
I'm very bad with ages, and I know he told me how old he was, but he is, I want to say 31.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. In my mind.
He's just got the baby face.
Yeah, in my mind, it was like 23, 4, maybe. Like, I'm terrible with, like, every time somebody's like, guess my age, I'm like, oh no. I'm going to do terribly.
He's very young looking, but he is the wise man.
What, you did a lot of drumming in high school though, before quitting, right? Like you did like, you were doing like School of Rock and stuff like that?
Oh my God, yeah. I was in School of Rock for so long because I had nothing else to do during the day. If I wasn't like avoiding all of my school shit, I would just sit around. So I was in School of Rock for so long.
Is that something you enjoyed? Like, I guess
it looks exhausting.
As opposed to doing nothing, or is just it was a cool experience? Because you did a bit of gigging like out of state and stuff with that too, right?
Yeah, that thing is kind of like, it was experience that I needed, but overall, I just kind of bounced around on different instruments. I didn't get good or proficient enough, like in my standards wise, until I really started doing stuff on my own and just listening to stuff. And it was just kind of like a bridge, but it was fun though. I enjoyed it.
What got you into doing the covers? Because I think that's what stood out to me the most, you know, like, because from what I can tell, unless there's a bunch of deleted videos and shit, like right off the bat, the kind of videos that you were doing cover wise, we're already like super fucking extreme bands, right? Like why'd you decide to start putting up covers? Was it to try and, you know, get gigs with bands and stuff like that? Was it just to kind of showcase your skill? What was kind of the initial thought process there?
Dude, these are just songs that I liked. I started doing this shit as a fucking joke, and it just went way too goddamn far. I still can't believe how far it's gone to this day. Like, the covers on YouTube, I would literally listen to a song and I would be like, this is sick. I want to try to learn it. And then I would learn it and I would be like, I wonder if other people would think this is cool. And then I would post it on YouTube. And then for some reason, it would go a little crazy. Like, it wouldn't blow up, but it would get a little bit of traction. And then, so it was just really posting songs that I liked. I still, to this day, like, I don't have like a rubric for how I post shit. I just post the things that I like. Like, I post clips of the shit that I really enjoy. Like, I just got off that Dying Fetus tour and I kept thinking about that riff and From Womb to Waist, and I did a video because it's a sick riff. So that's all I care about. Beast riffs.
Was that like a moment for you? Sorry, Dan.
No, go.
Was that a moment for you when you saw that you were picking up subtraction? Like, was that a moment like, oh shit, I might, you know, this might be something more than I thought type thing? Like, did it kind of boost your confidence to push it, or you just kept having fun through it?
It was more just like a fun thing. Like, I would occasionally have like people that'd be like, oh, would you do this for money? And I'd be like, sure. And I'd price it out properly. But mostly I just try to have like fun with it, because if you try to make it too much of a monopoly type of thing, I feel like it removes part of the enjoyment and it becomes more of a job rather than something you enjoy and something you go to like escape with.
Which is ultimately the main goal of it, because like the more you enjoy yourself, I feel like the more genuine it's going to be, and you're probably going to get better this way of like, instead of just like being, okay, I need to do this, it's more like I want to do this. So you're going to, you know, I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. It's like drums for me, it's not like oh, I'm going to post this because I think it would look sick. It's more of like, oh, I really like this, so I'm going to share it with other people so that other people can probably learn it and hopefully do other sick shit with it.
Did you help? Like, did you have message of people telling you that like it helped them drum wise or whatever? Like, did it happen that you talked with drummer and kind of helped them through the years?
Yeah, there'll be instances where people will DM me and I'll like give up a little bit of the sauce, as I like to call it. But yeah, sometimes it does really help people. Like, I've given away a lot of secrets, and I used to be a little bit of a asshole about it, because I would be like, I'm not giving you my secrets, because I was like kind of insecure about my playing. But now, as like a drummer that's like still developing but openly developing, I'm definitely open to giving more people the sauce, and I've given a lot of people chops. And it's beautiful to see other people like execute it and use it and phrase it out in their playing.
So now that we've said that on the podcast, I'm sorry if you receive a lot of messages after the, you know, after this, but I was just, hey,
I'm going to post videos. I'll break down some shit on, like, if not live, maybe on Reels.
Yeah.
If I don't get fucking annoyed with the video and delete it after like 3 days.
Did you used to get a lot of shit for the E-kit doing the playthroughs?
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. It was actually unreal. Like, yes, I understand where it's coming from. Like, when you're playing on an E-kit, if you're doing double strokes like I was doing on like the toms and shit, you definitely have an advantage if you just crank the sensitivity up, because it sounds like,
yeah, it's like everything's triggered, like velocity 100. You know, like, yeah,
like that's just the nature of an electronic drum kit. And I was saving energy by doing that shit. I was still hitting all the notes in time, but if anything, it's a little harder to do it with sensitivity on max. But I mean, overall, the hate that I was getting for it was kind of like, bruh, if I can do this on an e-kit, what makes you think I can't do it on an acoustic kit? Because eventually I just sold the e-kit and I was like, okay, it's time to buy a real kit. And now I can play even faster than that. So it was kind of, it was warranted, but it was also unwarranted.
Well, it's just
it
funny
taught me a
because
lesson.
I guess back then too, like you're looking at kind of influences like Aaron Kitcher, you know, and he was doing his stuff on an e-kit, but he would like Infant was like notorious for getting a lot of shit for like fake drums and like fake guitars or whatever, you know, like unwarranted, you know, but that was a lot of the discourse, right? Like, oh, these drums are fake. Like, oh,
and
you know, Aaron Kitcher had that playthrough. Oh, he can't play it. Like even when he was playing on a real kit, it's like, oh, this is a playthrough. It's cut up, so he can't actually play the shit, right? So it's just, I guess, ironic to see, like, you know, I guess it makes sense, right, that people would also criticize you for the same type of thing, right? But it's, I don't know. It was cool. It was cool to eventually see you do it on a real kit, though, and just being, it is, you know, I'm sure the goalpost probably just moved for a few people, but ultimately kind of shut up the majority, right?
The biggest reason why I had the e-kit in the most part is because I live in a fucking major ass city and there's people stacked on top of each other like sardines.
That's usually the only reason why, you know, that's why people have e-kits.
But yeah, I had it in like my basement for the longest time. It was so fucking funny. So all those videos that if people fucked with them, those are literal cave dwelling basement mongrel videos. Well, now I have a pile of space, so it's different, but it was still ridiculous and they're gone for a reason. Most of them are gone. Yeah, they'll never see the light of day again.
But I feel like, you know, in any form of art, when you're a certain level, people are pinpointing little things that they could. Oh, yeah, but they're doing that. It's like when I see like skateboarding videos, the dude is doing a freaking backflip to like the most crazy thing. And people are like, oh, his end kind of touch, so it doesn't count. Like when you get to a certain level, people are trying to be like, well, you know, so I feel. It's almost when people are pointing little things like that, it's telling you that you're at a certain place where you're doing some technical stuff and people want to, you know, pinpoint this.
Yeah, if that's the thing they're nitpicking on, you're doing good. Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it just made me get good though. I mean, I can, like I said, I can play even faster now. I swear to God. Hold on, I'm looking at the chat. If that's the real Lord Marco,
it is.
I'm gonna lose my shit. That's actual Lord Marco.
Yes.
Holy shit, dude. Dude, another person I used to watch when I was like 15 years old. Dude's got the fastest hands I've ever seen.
Yeah, because he's got so much on YouTube too, right? Over the years, especially back then, he was like super early into doing like videos and stuff on YouTube and doing that sort of stuff.
Dude, the no trigger video with the blindfold, I don't understand. And being able to hold a blast like that for God knows how long with like no fills in between, it doesn't make any sense.
Like zero break, yeah.
One of the biggest things I've learned from just playing drums with people and touring is that there are so many cracked people like him, all the dudes that I was hanging out with today, and like everybody that played with on tour, especially Travis, dude. Travis playing with Spite. Like these guys are incredible.
Travis is great. He's another one who does a bunch of content and stuff for YouTube too. I always love watching his stuff. He's been killing it with Spite too.
Yeah, dude. There was so much shit that happened on that tour. It was not bad shit, but good shit. But it was absolutely insane. He hits so hard, and he also breaks so many cymbals. I've never seen somebody go through that many, or even break pieces off of their drum kit.
Yeah.
I really don't get it.
Well, I mean, let's talk a bit about those tours actually while we're here. Like you guys did a few dates on the Dying Fetus, 200 Stab Wound Cruelty tour. You guys also did a part of the run with Spite and Body Snatcher. How were those shows for you guys?
The Spite tour was super dope. I've listened to Spite for a pretty hot minute now. Not a super long time, but definitely a couple of years. And I've listened to Body Snatcher since I was really, really young. So it was definitely like a bucket list tour for me personally. We had already done a couple of shows prior to that, so we were definitely ready as a band to do stuff at that level. And I felt that we had sounded really, really good. Me personally, I was having some technical difficulties on the first day because electronics and drums always collide in either a good way or a catastrophic way. And when it's bad, it's bad. And it was really bad for me on one night, but I got it dialed in after a while, and the sound was really, really tight. And every night it just felt like it was getting better and better.
And then how much, because you don't live near the guys, so did you guys practice much before heading into, because you were there since the first live shows, right?
Yeah, I played the first one.
So did you guys like practice extensively like before that, or was like a couple day type thing before those first 4 shows, or how does practice go for you guys together?
I usually fly in a couple of days before. We usually tend to practice, I want to say 3, maybe 4 max days. We'll like rent a spot and we'll go there, set up all the gear, and just hash out all the songs a couple of times each day. Mm-hmm. So we definitely practice a little bit, and I feel like it's substantial. Yeah.
And then you guys just feel like you're ready for doing it live after.
Yeah, and I mean, we sounded good every night. We just played what knocked loose. That was the biggest show I've ever played.
Yeah, like how crazy, because that looked unreal. Like, what was the cap for that venue? It was like a few K, right? It was like,
I want to say it was 2,000 cap, and it was sold out.
That's why
I have a special term for those types of venues where it's kind of stupid, but I call those types of venues Oppenheimer venues because they're just so massive. And when you play in them and when the subs go off, it sounds like a bomb.
Yeah.
So
the snare bombs and the bass drops go hard in a place like that.
Yeah, and especially with having like your sub drops isolated on a pedal, it makes it sound huge, and I can feel it rattle through the stage every time it goes off.
Mm. How are you set up? Are you like on a click with tracks, or are you manually triggering like the bass boosts and stuff like that?
I don't know the exact setup, but I know that most things that can be analog in our rigs are analog. So for the tracks in particular, I know I have my laptop that runs into an audio interface.
Yeah.
And that sends out like
what do you have in your ears? I'm curious. Like, you just like the click, or do you have actual guitar tracks in there, or what are you playing to?
I have the guitar tracks from the record in my left ear and the click in my right ear.
Okay. So you just make sure to stick to the track and everyone else follows along, or is everyone on in-ears too?
Oh no, I'm the only one on in-ears. So okay. I lock in and I hit hard. I hit very hard, and I make sure that all the guys can hear everything that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. You're the tempo type thing. Like, it's like you're the measure of like they go according to you, basically. I had a question, by the way, for the knock loose thing. Like, I was very stoked when they post a little video on the socials, and most of the members of Knock Loose said that they were excited to see you guys perform. They said, like, psychoframe, I'm stoked. Did you get like quick comments from the band after like the first few performances? Did they come to you and just be like, dude, you guys are crazy?
Oh my God, I actually had I almost had a heart attack when this happened, but I was standing outside and I was bringing my drums back out to our trailer so that I can like load my shit in. Mm-hmm. And the drummer, Kevin, came up to me and he was like, dude, you're sick. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? And I was like freaking out in my head because, I mean, Knock Loose is huge, and I've listened to Knock Loose for a really long time. So, like, him coming up to me and being like, "You're sick," and like asking about my pedals, and me getting to show him like my gear, that was insane. So he made a comment. I'm pretty sure Isaac said that we were sick as well, because I walked past him when he was talking to one of my vocalists. Yeah, Nico said that we were sick as well. But yeah.
Very curious about Brian too, because you've got two solid vocalists as well. Like, I mean, they're very powerful. Like, I can see Knock Loose and you guys just, you know, like destroying places and stuff like that. So appreciate Brian.
Yeah. Brian knows both of our vocalists, I think. I also am pretty sure that he liked our performance because he was posting about it. But
yeah, well, I mean, the band handpicked you guys to be on that show specifically, so it's like, you know, kind of to be expected unless you guys really shit the bed live, you know.
I know. I'm just always like, I'm always criticizing because, I mean, everybody's their own like biggest critic, but I especially like nitpick the drum parts. Because I tend to record every show on like GoPro, and the rest of the guys tend to record their stuff as well. So we all like tend to pick apart our performances every night. So even if it looks good, we're all at the end of the day being like, it could be better.
And sometimes you probably think that you screwed up, but nobody noticed, like, ever. Like, the fans were just like, "Oh my god, he's crazy on drum," and in your head you're like, that low part I missed, you know. So
that's usually every night on tour for me. There's always like one part that will happen during the set because it's so fast, and I mean, it is programmed.
Yeah. How long is that? Were you guys playing for those shows?
We are playing. Damn, I haven't even thought about that. I think we're playing a 25-minute set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not too long, but definitely, definitely fast at this tempo.
Well, going as fast as you're going the whole time, I would say it's a pretty long.
It's like, it's not about the time. It's about like I feel like you got to factor in like amount of notes. You know, that's what should quantify how long your set has to be, not how long in time it is. You know, I remember like the guys in Beneath the Massacre, they were freaking the fuck out because they went to play Japan, and over there they were like, you have to play like an hour 15, an hour and a half. Like, that's like, if you guys can't play that long, we don't want you here type thing. And they were like, dude, with our music, like, are you kidding me? They did it. But I was just like, I felt so bad for the guys. It's like, there's no shot, dude. Like, you could never catch me doing that shit for an hour 15, an hour and a half.
Psychoframe played an hour set. That would be like multiple records and multiple EPs at a time. That would, I don't think we have enough material out at this time to even make that possible.
One good record and you'll be there.
That would be so long though.
I personally, regardless of like how fast or slow the music is, I can't stand a super long set. As a fan, like watching, like I rather a 25-minute set, balls to the wall, like start to finish. Like, you don't even got to talk between the songs. I don't care. Just give me the good stuff and get out. Like, I prefer that sort of intensity especially from metal bands that are super intense. Like, I've always had more of an affinity for the shorter set.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've played like 45s, the longest I've ever played. Yeah. I played 45s and I played probably as short as 20s. And I definitely think that 25s have a better reaction from the crowd because, well, this tour was obviously insane, but honestly, people fuck with these shorter sets more because I saw a lot more people like stage diving and more people moshing harder. Maybe it's because of the style being different, but in terms of like more things happening, I definitely see a lot more happening in a 25 than a 45-minute set.
People are probably like, you know, it's now or never type thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, we're going to wait for the better song or we're going to wait for, you know, there's no like, it's like, if you don't do it now, the set's going to be over. So I feel like people kind of react a little bit differently to the shorter sets for that sort of reason, probably.
Yeah. And also song length. The psychoframe songs are, I don't think there's really anything longer than 4 minutes in the set. I could be
long
wrong.
for psychoframe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after a certain point, it kind of gets ridiculous because you're playing 300 BPM blast beats for 5 minutes straight. But yeah, we don't really have any songs longer than 4 minutes. So all of them really captivate your attention and hold you there. And you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? Rather than like, oh, what's going to go down next?
Yeah, exactly. I'm also curious to know how was because it was the first tour and everything, like the interaction with the fans and stuff like that. Was that cool for you to like meet people and talk to your fans and stuff?
Yeah, it was pretty chill. I'm a pretty normal person. I literally, God, most of my time I spend in the green room, to be honest. But if I'm not in the green room, I'll be walking around and people do approach me and I'm always nice. But really it's just casual. I don't know. I'm a very normal person. I think I'm very awkward though. So when people come up to me, I'm kind of like shell shocked at first. And then I'm like, oh shit, I have to be a human being.
You gotta go from a robot drum machine to a human again.
Hey, but the transition is fucking easy. I go up on stage probably 5 minutes before, and I sit there and I just look around and plug in my ears and make sure that they're always working. Sometimes they will come out. Because on that Knock Loose show, my glasses fell off my face and they almost took my ears out. Oh. And that would have been
can't see, can't hear. Yeah, you're.
And it was during the last song too.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh no. Not a good time to fuck up something.
How much do you practice? Like, do you warm up much before playing, or that's really it? Like, you just go up 5 minutes and that's it.
When I was younger, I used to be very anti warming up because I was a very dumb, young, naive kid. And now I typically tend to warm up for, I want to say the longest I've done was 30 minutes, but I usually just sit with my pad and do hand exercises.
Do you have like
typically like 10 to 20 minutes.
Do you have the fake feet, like just the like stoppers for your pedals type thing? Do you do the like feet stuff at all or not?
No, I wish. The fucking Foot Blaster kick pad, I want one of those so bad. But it's always more shit to bring on tour, and my drum kit's already super small. I have like a 4-piece drum kit, and I've compressed everything into a bunch of stands. So anytime I think of bringing something else, I think of lugging it up a set of venue stairs or down a set of stairs, and and I'm just like, no.
I'd rather not type thing. Yeah. You've been an advocate of the small kit though, right? Like as in general, in terms of like playing and stuff too, not so much just for the space and travel and stuff.
It was mainly because of the School of Rock thing again, because I always played small kits there, and playing a small kit will make playing on a bigger kit easier. So I still advocate for them because, one, you're saving yourself a lot of trouble if you do tour, and two, you learn how to do more things on a small kit. You can play even crazier shit on a bigger kit because you're just like a kid in a candy store when you sit at it.
Yeah. Is that something you'd want to have, like eventually, like build out a bigger kit type thing, or?
After sitting with Bryce and Steven, yeah, now I want more toms. I feel like I'm kind of selling myself short now with just one tom. I don't know if I still have my other one. I have to find it.
Just a quick break to mention the Thrill of the Hunt Tour 2024 presented by yours truly, Brutality Podcast. Super excited to be sponsoring this tour and to be helping out with some of the promo. Peacemaker, Victim Blamed, and Reverent are the three bands that are going out on tour together. All three of these are doing a MySpace-inspired deathcore sound and doing it in a really, really cool way. I've been seeing a lot of the local support bands for a lot of these cities being other bands in the genre, these newer bands that are popping up that are doing it in a cool way as well. So it's running from July 12th to the 27th. It's hitting Florida, Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia. So if you guys are in any of those states, I would urge you guys to check out the dates to see if one of the cities is near you. If any of these shows are coming close to where you live, go out to the shows. I will leave a link in the description for more information, and I've got some music on there from every single one of the bands. So urge you guys to check that out. These shows are going to be a good ass time. And yeah, that's kind of it. Back to the show. Yeah, we need to talk about how you joined Psychoframe. How'd that all come about? Because I know there was like kind of some last minuteness in all of that too. Like we don't need to get into all that, but they had someone else lined up before you joined, and it kind of bailed. So how'd you end up with the gig? How'd that look like for you?
I was just kind of like, I got told by fuck, I'm so bad with names. Johnny from Angel Maker. He actually told me about Psychoframe because I was in between bands at the moment, and he was like, oh, this band is really sick and they need a drummer. And I was like, okay, I'll check them out. Listen to them on Spotify. And I was just like, what in the absolute fuck is this? Because, I mean, I played in, like, Worm Shepherd type shit before then. Like, very symphonic, Lorna-esque type bands. And this band is very raw. Like, very, very much true to what the sound actually is. Which is, like,
kind of a complete opposite, to be honest, you know? Like, Worm Shepherd and stuff like that.
But, yeah, so I got told by Johnny, and I listened to them on Spotify, and I hit up Hunter, and I just said drum, and it's kind of hit it off from there, and started talking a little bit, and I sent him a couple videos, and I was really bad at first because I like did way too many fills, but after like a couple rounds of videos,
like trying to do too much type thing.
Yeah, because that was something I always struggled with as a player, and I actually thank Hunter a lot for that, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have broken out of it so soon. Like, joining Psychoframe kind of forced me out of a bad habit, if you know what I mean.
Just trying to, like, quote unquote overcompensate, you know, just being too flashy type thing. Yeah,
exactly what it was. Because that was a huge problem with me and my old bands. Like, it wasn't really a noticeable thing, but for me, looking back on what I used to do, it was what I would refer to as cringe.
So then, did you send him some videos of you doing other stuff before sending him videos of Psychoframe? Or, like, was Hunter aware of, on a baseline level, like, your skill, or were the Psychoframe videos the first things he was seeing?
From what I've heard, it was just like my Instagram was kind of like enough. Anytime I would talk to Hunter, I would mainly just send him Psychoframe stuff.
And then you
like,
you
me
joined...
and Hunter, our relationship is very like. Our relationship is very much, oh, here is Psychoframe drum thing. Here is what I am doing to further this thing. What would you like me to do next? Kind of like, it's kind of like being a fucking super soldier.
Yeah, like, it's especially what we enjoyed is like you hear as much as the first psychoframe things are amazing, it's like it's one of those bands where it's just better and better. So I guess for you as a drummer, which is already pretty hard to play, I'm sure in your mind sometimes you're like, where is this gonna go, like skill wise? Like what's the next step, right?
Yeah, because Hunter and the rest of the band have personally told me that it's only getting faster, and that is absolutely wild to think about, because I think the average tempo for this stuff is like 280.
Jesus Christ.
So it's going up to 300, but thankfully I have some good friends that have shown me more techniques to go fast.
Dude.
Some of the stuff you've already like been playing, you know, the Infant and like how fast is Infant?
I don't even know
those songs. It's
I want to
hit
say
close to there,
upwards of 300.
Yeah, that's it. So I mean, it's not like it'd be your first rodeo in those types of speeds, right? Which I think, fortunately for you, you know, because I think I don't think that many drummers can play that fast, right? Like I think it's a pretty fucking niche thing for a drummer to be able to play like upwards of 300.
Yeah, because you have to break your body to do that shit. Being able to get up to that speed is no joke. It takes so much time and effort and repetition over and over and over and over again. And for me, in my case, I didn't even play that stuff the right way. Like what's the word for it? I would burn too much energy, like using one limb rather than like distributing the energy between my arms.
Right. You do a lot of the blast, like switching off from hand to hand now and stuff like that.
Yeah, the fucking crossover blast beat. Steven actually taught me that, and that is a huge thing for me. That is probably 90% of Psychoframe set is that blast beat. So it's a huge help being able to do that.
I feel for you, because if they say that it's only going to get faster and you're going to have more music. So what I'm hearing right now is that you're going to get to the point where it's going to be faster with longer sets. Like,
rest in peace, my man.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep trying to improve. I'm gonna rely on my youth. I know I'm young, so hopefully if I keep getting faster at this age, hopefully I'll be faster when I'm like 24.
Yeah, you're not at the other step where your back is hurting and all that. Like you're fine. You've got a while.
Not regressing like us here.
No, exactly.
No, it's already on the way, because being tall it exacerbates everything.
What's with playing with no shoes?
Oh, playing with no shoes. It's mostly a preference thing. I've seen people play barefoot. I've seen people play in like boots. Seen people play in specified drum shoes.
Boots is crazy. That's some next level shit.
That's black metal bands that are playing in boots.
That's like all for style. No technique points there.
But I play without my shoes just because I can like feel the pedal more. Like I do a lot of double strokes on my feet, so I have to like do a lot of pressing with a very specific part of my foot in a very specific way to get 2 clean hits out of it and it not like shit the bed. Yeah. But yeah, playing without shoes is just more comfortable for me. I've done both. I've played with them and without them. It's just personal preference.
Does it tire, like, does playing with no shoes ever like kind of I don't know, I'm thinking about like with the double stroke and all that, it kind of like wear on your foot from like sliding with no shoes? No,
it would if you had Velcro, because a lot of people do have Velcro on their pedals, but mine are just very flat, smooth steel. So I'm playing in socks most of the time, so it doesn't really affect me.
Right. What are your thoughts on, because you're talking about, you know, Psychoframe being super raw, you know, especially compared to other stuff you've played previously. What are your thoughts on kind of the deathcore, like MySpace deathcore, the kind of revival that's going on right now that arguably, you know, psychoframe is kind of like spearheading right now, right? I think a lot of bands regard psychoframe as one of the bands doing it in a really cool way right now. Do you listen to any of that stuff? Is that like a style in general that you fuck with, like the older style of deathcore?
For me, I honestly like it more now than the other side of the spectrum because, well, having been on both sides, the songs on the other side are definitely a lot longer. And these, for me, I feed off the crowd a lot, and these make people mosh a lot harder. And also, it's just a lot catchier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a huge breakdown guy. The breakdowns are the big thing for me in a lot of metal songs. And with this style, it's just breakdown after breakdown after breakdown. So it's kind of like having your cake and eating it as well.
Yeah, there's more energy to it, I guess, than
very show oriented, song wise, like the two steps and whatever. Like it's just like, as much as it's cool, like the melodic, more symphonic stuff, like I feel like it's more of a theatrical thing as opposed to like the old school, what we call MySpace deathcore thing is more of a show, let's get crazy together type thing. So you see it in the energy live in general. Like that's what we keep talking about. Like it's kind of, people are less on their phone, they're more going crazy and stuff like that. So it's I can see what you're describing with people getting crazier.
Yeah, I always feel bad saying it because I love both sides, but definitely the other side is more theatrical. I feel like a good analogy is like that is the type of style where you need like a light rig and crazy strobes that are like synced up with like all the crazy shit going on in the song.
And shit. Yeah.
Whereas this style is just like, oh, you can have the fucking lights on and just have people just have a bunch of people start kicking each other. Yeah, we literally did that. We played on like some stage that was like, I want to say 2.5 feet off the ground. Mm-hmm. Not like a small stage, but a smaller stage. And
one of those first shows you guys did that was kind of like in a corner of a room. That sort of stage was like super low.
Yeah, that was in Alabama. That was, God, I don't remember much from that night because there's so much pressure. Hunter was fucking right next to me, and
he came up for a song and shit. Yeah, he was there.
And it was the first show for the band in general, so I was just like, oh, let me not fuck up. And I did fuck up because I missed a fill.
Which I'm sure
if you missed one fill, if it's just one fill.
Yeah, nobody noticed, but still, I can't watch any videos of that set because of that one part of the song.
I feel that.
Yeah, but it's probably the way you like your mindset is probably one of the like, as much as it's a lot of pressure on yourself, I'm sure that's part of what makes you improve and not kind of just sit on what you have. Like the fact that you're always like, oh, this thing, like that's the mindset that is bringing you to the next level and keeping up with the band. Like I feel like if somebody in your position would just be like, oh, I can play it, so it's fine. Maybe they wouldn't be ready for what's coming next, as opposed to use always like, I need to get better. This can be better. Like it's probably the mindset you need to be in a band like Psychoframe, I feel like.
Yeah, because like I said, it's only gonna get faster.
Yeah,
I'm literally just trying to keep up. That's all. And I mean, I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Oh, dude, we can confirm. Like it's confirmed. I think officially. I think we can all. It's definitely. But the fact that when you said it's only gonna get faster, I'm like, how? Like that's the question. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. But like with Hunter, you never know. Like it's just he's gonna come out with something crazy, and we're gonna be like, okay, that's possible. I didn't know.
I feel bad for fucking Aiden and Jordan because they have to play this shit on guitar. And I used to play guitar for a little bit, and the way that this shit is written, personally, my brain cannot make sense of it.
Yeah, it's like it's super spazzy too, right? Like it's kind of, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's all over the place. Like it's not like it's ever a riff for a minute, you know? It's like a lot of short riffs that have nothing to do really with one another. You're not like just slightly changing the notes from one riff to another. It's like way all over the place.
Always
so
surprising.
I feel for them for sure. Yeah.
Hey, they pull it off though. Everybody in this band is a really well-oiled machine.
What's your favorite song to play for Psychoframe? I'm curious.
Oh yeah, good question.
It's a tie between Internal Death Trance and 24 Hours Left because of the end of 24 Hours and this one part in Internal Death Trance where there's like, I can't, there's no way that I could fucking describe this. I'm gonna look so stupid. But it's the last like break riff section in Internal Death Trance where there's like a giant drum filled area. And then the last part of 24 Hours because I get to beat the shit out of my drum kit.
Yeah.
Kind of your moment type thing.
Yeah, I saw actually. I
My moment? No. It's it's the moment where the symbols gotta fucking survive because I've broken one china already during that part. And it was at the Masquerade in Atlanta.
How many like symbols and stuff do you have? Because I know you said you had one tom. What are you running symbol wise?
I have
5 chinas.
I wish I had 5 chinas because the frequency in which I break these things is kind of getting ridiculous, and these things are fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've always really enjoyed 2 chinas, like a china on each side type thing. And like just having the just for the difference in sound, where like if one does break, you got the other at least.
Yeah, but then you also have to fucking take it in and out of the venue and bring it up the stairs and possibly down the stairs. I also have 6 symbols. I have like 2 crashes, a china, hat, ride, and a splash. My fucking splash broke, so I need to get another one when I go back down to Georgia.
I don't know if it's like too personal of a question, but like when you were on tour, since it was like the first tour and everything, how was it like to hang out with these boys like on a regular basis and stuff like that? You said like you were more quiet and stuff, but like how was the dynamic, I guess, with the band?
Dude, I was chilling. I pulled up to this man's house and he had 2 hairless fucking cats. I was so happy. I was just like, bro, what the fuck is going on, bro? Miki and Chamba. They're so fucking cute. I literally walked in. I walked in, there's 2 hairless cats, and then there's another cat. I like cats a lot. I was in heaven.
That's a fair, I would have felt the same way, to be honest. So that's a fair answer.
So yeah, everybody was chilling. And then everybody kind of reminds me of a different version of myself, and we have all done mostly the same things in life. I won't get too much into it, but we have all done a lot of the same shit.
It's good. So it means like you're all at similar steps, like mindset, like you're all kind of, at the same, like already at the same level type thing.
Yeah, we're all like absolutely chilling.
That's awesome.
Like oh my God, the amount of weed that gets smoked in the back of our fucking van. Like oh my God, this is so fucked. We'll be sitting in the back of the van at like 12 o'clock in the morning after a show, and I'll like emerge from the back row and just say green spoon, and they'll start dying.
You gotta relax.
No, there's actually an insane amount of weed that goes for that band. When we were in St. Louis, Missouri, and we had played this place called Delmar Hall, and there's this weed store that was inside of a church that was attached to the venue, and they gave us a bunch of free weed, and we went through all of that by the end of the tour.
Wow.
And it was like a substantial amount of weed. That was also probably my favorite show on that tour. It was a nice room and it sounded sick. And we also had our own sound guy for that show.
There we go. Did you guys bring anyone with you guys for those runs? Like merch,
we had
driver or whatever, sound guy.
Fuck. I honestly don't remember that much. I know we had sound for like 2 days. We had sound for we had sound for Delmore Hall and we had sound for the Knock Loose show.
Mm.
I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention that much on this fucking tour. All I was doing the entire time was making sure that my drums don't fall over and break in the rain.
Yeah, which is pretty important. There's a question I love asking. I know it's a difficult one, but like, if you could pick a tour that you kind of dreamed doing, like which band? Like, it can be more than one if you want, but like, what's kind of the dream scenario for you to tour with?
Fuck. That's
I know it's a tough one. I know it's a tough one.
That Summer Slaughter tour in, I want to say 2022, when Lorna Shore had just dropped and I Returned to Nothingness. It was that tour with Signs of the Swarm, Angel Maker. Fuck, I'm forgetting what the bill looked like, but it was an absolutely stacked tour. Every date sold out. Being on that tour, being on that tour, like with Psychoframe, that would probably be a dream tour of mine. Like that type of bill. And if not that, the
Yeah. There's it was like Lorna, Betraying the Martyrs, Slaughter was on that, Oceano. Oh no, this is
no, not that one.
No. This doesn't have Angel Maker on it. Why can't I find the one with Angel Maker?
I mean,
it was 2022.
I think it's the one I've seen that was like Angel Maker, Aborted, of Sulfur, Lorna. Is that it? No, it's not. No, because you're talking about the Summer Slaughter. I'm talking about the Retorted. But I remember it was crazy.
It was a stack tour, but that would be my dream tour. It was, fuck. I want to say Suicide Silence, Carnifex, Lorna Shore, Distant.
That was the Chaos and Carnage tour.
Yeah, that's what it was. Chaos and Carnage.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that lineup was goated as fuck. Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. That I always talk about that lineup being like the craziest kind of deathcore lineup we've seen in fucking years. That was a stacked tour. Yeah, that was the
sold out everywhere. Like
that was like super close to like post COVID. Like people were still super craving shows and stuff like that. It was Carnifex, Suicide Silence, co-headliner.
It was so sold out that like they changed a lot of the venues and like added ticket afterwards.
They upgraded the shit out of venues.
Yeah, a lot of the venues got moved to bigger rooms. I wasn't paying attention to it that much, but I know a decent amount of the venues got upgraded.
Dude, during those days, I remember I wanted to see Lorna because in Montreal, we don't have that many tours and stuff, especially during those days. It took me, I was waiting on the ticket sale. 10 minutes later, it was in resale for like 5 times the amount. Like I paid like, I don't know, like 60 for 2 tickets. And 10 minutes after that was 300, like the price. And 10 minutes, like it sold out and people were reselling. It really went like after post, COVID and everything, people were just like missing it like crazy. And ever since it's just like, it's wild.
They're huge. They're super, super nice. Austin has been a pretty good friend of mine for a while. He shot some of my first ever videos that I did. So I definitely have a lot to thank him for in terms of internet bullshit that I've done. But yeah, he's doing super, super well.
Another very hardworking dude too. Like he's been, working since forever. And we were talking about talented. I mean, he's pretty crazy himself too, right?
Yeah, he's super, super fast. He's playing stuff at psychoframe speed, which means that our joints are probably not going to be happy with us in another 10 years.
Oh, probably not.
Yeah, there's a reason why I sit in the massage chairs after these tours.
It does make sense.
Got your own personal massage chair. You have to go somewhere for it.
I got a fucking Planet Fitness.
There we go.
Everybody on tour goes to Planet Fitness. It's cheap and it has chairs. That's all that matters.
2 things you're looking for there.
Yeah, that's all you need. And it has a shower.
And
that's kind of the band sauce on tour.
Yeah, shower is kind of a big thing. I love asking that as well. Like, I don't know usually how you eat and everything, but is that like a big thing for you? Like trying to eat healthy while you're touring and stuff, or you're just kind of just day to day going with what you can?
I burn pretty much everything I eat off at the drum kit. So most of the time on tour, I mean,
you let the weed do the decision making.
Yeah, most of the time we do that. Like, we're like stopping at like, the last place we stopped at was like this fried chicken place, but we've stopped at, for the most part, food places attached to Love's gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is dope.
Buc-ee's is the ultimate. You can get whatever the fuck you want there. So kind of something
whenever it's not crowded.
Mm-hmm.
That does make sense, but I love asking that, you know, because for some people, I don't know, like, for example, we were talking with Richie Hoover, who's like training, and like for him, super important. So I'm always wondering, like, so because I know that a lot of people don't really care, you know, they're eating whatever. But I feel like always eating healthy is such like a difficult thing to do if you're touring and you're driving for hours. So but the weed thing makes a lot of sense. Like, you have a craving, and it's like a lot of things is like, for me, it would be like anything like pizza or whatever. So
I don't know how Ricky does it, if he even eats healthy on tour. I don't think we eat terribly, but we definitely eat pretty bad. It's a lot of fast food.
Makes sense though. Like, it's like, you know, like, for example, you have like 12 freaking hour drive or something. It's not like you have every day like 2 hours to go to the grocery store and cook and do your thing. Like, you're kind of on a schedule too. So I feel like that's factor in.
Sometimes, I mean, we can stop a couple of times on tour, but a lot of the times, if anything, I'll just order food to the venue. That's like a huge habit of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
sometimes there'll be a local food.
Dude, that just made me realize I haven't toured in a long ass fucking time, because
it wasn't there back then.
Because like doing Uber Eats or some shit to get food on tour, I've never thought of that being like a possibility. Holy shit! You literally just blew my mind right now.
And you just felt old once again.
Holy shit!
I tend to do it, but it's true,
because you can kind of just order whatever the fuck you want and get it sent to the venue.
Don't even
right?
think about it. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, it is fucking expensive because Uber Eats charges you a fuckload of fees. But there have been a couple of times on this tour where it was like raining, or it was just like really yucky outside.
You're in a pinch. You're like, yeah,
like it will just make more sense to order food.
Is there such a thing as like venue kind of offering food? Because I never toured like Dumb did, but I was never in the touring band. Like, is there some venues that like offering, I don't know, like sandwiches or like food or whatever? Is that a thing?
Sometimes what that's called is catering. Sometimes there is catering on, well, it depends on the tour. Like, if the tour is big enough, there would be catering at every venue. But a lot of the times there's not really catering. But if there is, like, it will be like maybe fruit or maybe sandwiches. Sometimes they'll buy you food. You can also have this thing called a rider, which is like anything that you want food wise, they'll get it and they'll bring it to your green room. So like you can be like pineapple pizza, Red Bull, Monster Energy drink, and they'll bring it if you put it on your rider.
Okay, that's like the dream scenario type thing. I'm like piecing things together. So if we add on to that the weed thing, and then you can have anything you want once you get there, that's kind of the best scenario for you guys.
Riders are usually kind of done in advance, though. It's not. It would be less of an impulsive thing if we're talking about the weed. But maybe if you know what you usually end up preferring. Yeah.
Usually you kind of know though, so it's like
your classic go-tos, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of the times on tour though, there will be like we'll get to a venue and there'll be like a really sick local spot that we'll get either told about by like somebody that works at the venue or just people that are local or fans that are local to the area. Because I remember, well, specifically for the Knocked Loose show, I got told by the staff that there is a food court next door, and the tacos that I had there were probably the best tacos I've ever had. I still can't replicate that in New York, of all places.
Wow. In my mind, New York have everything.
Blessing and a curse. That's like a blessing and a curse sometimes. Like, this food is like the best food I've ever eaten, but it's on the other side of the fucking country, and I'm only gonna maybe get to eat it when I come back on tour type thing. You're like, leaves you fiending it for a while.
That was the case in Alabama and Colorado as well. With like, I want to say they were both food trucks. One of them, if not both of them.
The food trucks outside of Come and Take It in Texas and in Austin have like some of the best fucking Mexican food too, and that's like always a spot that I'm like, oh, I want to go back to Texas just for this food truck. Like sometimes the food trucks are the craziest fucking food, the real homemade shit. Simple stuff.
I think I know what food truck you're talking about. I haven't been to it in probably, 3 years at this point. But I'm not sure if it existed back then, but I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about. Anytime I was at Come and Take It, I just went to the Pizza Hut that was like above the giant mountain.
Yeah.
The mountain that is like getting onto the sidewalk over there.
Yep. Yeah, everywhere you go. I rode a skateboard down the road that leads into the parking lot, like the back alley for Come and Take It, for like load in. And that was probably one of the stupidest things I've ever done. That was, I mean, it worked, but I could have not played that show that night for sure. I don't know how I got.
Imagine telling people that you can't because you tried.
Yeah, sorry guys, can't play tonight. Fucked up on a skateboard.
Well, one of the biggest things I remember from playing there is our van's, this was long before psychoframe, but our van's belt was squealing the entire time when we peeled out of there. That van had so many fucking issues.
Like, you don't want issues with your freaking transport. I have a question about, since you've been touring with psychoframe, if you had to pick like the show that people went the craziest, if there's one, is there like a specific time you're like, okay, that was the craziest show ever, or is that like it happened like many times?
There have been a couple of solid nights, but oh my god. American Legion in, I don't remember what part of Florida it was. Hollywood, Florida, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, American Legion, that small little stage. With the fucking eagle in the back? Yeah. that was so funny looking. But that show, there's so many people.
Yeah.
I didn't think that there would be a lot of people at that show, but once we got in and had set everything up and everything, there's a line like going down the block for it. And that show, there was a lot of moshing, like an insane amount of moshing. There's like video of people getting kicked in the stomach.
The shows there are always like that. It's always packed. It's packed on a Monday. I don't get it. And it's like Jeff and Equinox, like guy who puts on the shows there, like he he does his shit well. He knows like how to put on a good bill and stuff. And like, dude,
he's a legend. That person.
Yeah, I remember seeing videos from that show specifically that you guys from that set. And yeah, people went fucking crazy. It's a cool crowd
dope.
they've got down there.
Yeah, he's dope. Jeff is super nice. I hope he's doing good.
I'd maybe wrap this up with one last kind of subject for you if you don't mind. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about tattoos.
Oh God, dude.
Let's talk tattoos, man.
God,
because you got a lot of fucking tattoos.
Yep,
dude, I'm pretty covered.
Mm-hmm.
I've been getting tattooed since I was like 15. I started getting tattooed. How'd that first
tattoo come about?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I highly doubt she'll ever see this, but I got my first tattoo by one of my classmates when I was a sophomore, and her name was Tamaris. And she did I'm sorry, but she did this really shitty spider on the inside of like my right arm. And after that, it kind of like sparked an addiction, and I did a bunch more on myself with like, I don't remember what the type of pen is called, but like the type where you can like put it in your hair, like a hairpin. And I would use the razor point of that, and there's this art store called Blick that's pretty popular in New York. And I would go to Blick and I would get like pen ink, and I would take the razor end, dip it in, and stab myself with it.
Wow.
To tattoo myself. And thankfully I didn't get
worse looking than the spider.
Yeah.
Oh, it was actually kind of better looking.
Wow.
But thankfully I didn't get fucking like hepatitis.
Mm-hmm.
But overall I would just tattoo myself, and eventually like I got old enough to the point where I looked like I could get a tattoo, and I just started walking into random places.
Yeah. They don't ask for your age anymore. They're like, yeah, this guy's been blasted before. He's good. Must be. Yeah,
I had a bunch of bullshit on my fucking knuckles, and I wanted to get it covered up, and I just walked in, and nobody really checked me. But that's New York, though. That's kind of one of the beauties of being an inner city child, is that there's a lot of corners and crevices that you could fit into in regards to getting illegal tattoos.
And then because you say you got addicted, like what was it about the shitty, like do you remember thinking that spider was shitty in the beginning, or were you stoked on it and like, because like what sparked the addiction from there? Because it's like you got a shitty tattoo and you're like, I want more of these type thing.
No, it was because I actually really liked it at the time, and I was like, "Damn, I want more." I didn't think it was shitty.
I feel like you wanted tattoos so much that any means you had to get some tattoos, you just went with it, type thing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was shitty till I got older, and then any tattoos that I wanted, I would just go out and get it on a whim. Like I think I got my neck blasted after that, and then I immediately went into my arm. I know I graduated I graduated with my entire upper half done. But I've done enough now. I've spent so much fucking money. I gotta fucking chill.
I mean, look, you're running out of space too, I'm sure.
Yeah, you have enough, I think. So
yeah, I've like covered over the past year, I covered most of my face, and now I'm waiting on my legs. I'm going to probably do my legs over the next 5 years, and depending on what happens in my life, it could be a year. So it all depends. But tattoos are fucking stupid.
What was the game changer one? You know what I mean? Like, for example, for me, when I did like face and neck was probably when I noticed it really like a difference. Like, was that like is there a step for you that when you did, you're like, okay, like it's kind of
maybe people looked at you different or
type thing. Yeah.
Friends,
Friends, maybe family, whatever.
Yeah, probably when I did my face.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I started on my neck and I bridged up onto my jaw. But after a while, I did like this torch on my face, which is like kind of on the center of my cheek. And after that, like I had certain family that couldn't like look at me for a little bit, but they all come around eventually.
Yeah. And for you, it becomes like a part. Like I've got this question so many times, like, oh my God, like, do you regret? I'm like, it's part of, I don't see it, right? Like when you look at yourself, it's not like, hey, oh my God, I have that. Like, it's just part of you, right?
Yeah, I don't really notice them at this point anymore. It's kind of just like a part of my skin.
Yeah. That's it. But new people, you meet, honestly. But like, I feel like we came around also with that. Like, people are just like so much more used to it. Like when I did it, I was like 18, for example. So like, unfortunately, it's been a while. I wish I could say it's just a few years ago, but when I was 18, it's like, I'm 32. But back then, dude, people would stop me. Like older people would stop me and be like, why did your parents let you do this? Like stuff. I was like, what the hell is happening?
I couldn't even imagine people coming up to me and stopping me and saying like bad shit.
Well, I think New York is a different place than Victoriaville as well, where Yan grew up, right?
Oh so yeah, I'm in a small city.
I think there is, yeah, but you're in a small city, but New York itself is like so. I think just people go about their day so much over there, like. People truly don't give a fuck, you know, about what other people are doing and stuff like that. I feel like that's less of a thing, you know, to judge others on. Like, I see that less being a thing in like New York City. Someone going up to someone and being like, "Yo, these tattoos, that's fucked up," or you know.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. You only really get that if people have bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was crazy, dude. Like I would be at the grocery store and I would hear like an old person next to me, like I cannot hear, and she would be like, "Yeah, this dude went to jail," and talking about me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, like you know you know more than me. I didn't even know I went." Like people would like talk and just like wait, one time they grabbed me, like, and I'm somebody, I'm a bit like you, right? Like more introvert, like I want to do my things. I don't want like the spotlight on me or anything. So you're at the grocery store, people grab you. And I remember like being like, what the hell? And they would be like, dude, you ruined your life type thing. I was like, oh my God. Like, so yeah, it was kind of wild for me, but I feel like now people are so used to seeing more tattoos and stuff. I don't feel like it has the same impact as like years ago. Like the face is still surprising for people, but I feel like now they're just like, oh, you must be a tattoo artist. I'm sure you got that question, right? Oh, do you do tattoos?
Oh yeah, all the time. People, that's like the number one thing people always think, is people always ask me if I'm a tattoo artist.
You should say yes, and then you should use the pen that you were using on the...
Oh my God. I would definitely get sued. I would get sued into oblivion. Give somebody a skin condition.
People are just like, do you know the drummer in Psychoframe? Yeah, he ruined my life with a tattoo. Oh, shit.
Give somebody a bloodborne pathogen.
Look, you just got to get them to sign the right waiver and everything's gravy.
Oh, yeah. That's true. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think
dude,
that's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to do this, dude.
It was so much fun hanging out with you, dude, honestly.
Yeah, man.
Dude, no problem. My fucking internet shit the bed earlier, and I was literally screaming my lungs out trying to deal with it. So I'm glad it got to fucking pull itself together and I could get back to my home.
Well, for what it's worth, dude, a lot of people would have just like, you know, canceled. Like you rushed and you made it happen. So for us on our side, it's much more like we appreciate you working it out. And by the way, while you were doing that, as I said, we're watching your videos, which made me very introspective about my own talent musically. But it was amazing to see, and it was like, and it prepared us, and people stayed, man. They were waiting to hang out with you and stuff. So overall, for us, don't want to talk for everybody, but it was awesome, really.
Oh no, I just try. That's all I try. I try to do my fucking best.
It works.
He's good at trying. We'll say that
It
much.
works. Yeah. If that's you trying, yeah, you're really good at it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
we'll have to keep in touch, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Thank you so much for doing this again, man.
Dude, for sure. Thank you guys.
Do you have? We love asking that as well. Like, do you have something maybe you want to announce, like if you can, or something you want to promote, other projects of yours,
where
anything?
we can find you, socials, anything like that?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, might as well do it now. There's gonna be something that I'm bringing back from the past with a good friend of mine, and it is going to have my vocals.
What?
Okay.
There
we go.
Yeah. So that'll be a very first thing, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna try to make it really good.
Well,
yeah.
you tried making a drum and it worked. So if you try on vocals, I mean, should be based on what we've seen. But that's cool, man. Excited for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing drums, vocals, and a little bit of guitar.
So almost everything, basically. basically.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I won't say too much about it because I gotta do like fucking promo, but it's gonna be pretty angry.
Hell yeah. I don't know if you noticed, we love angry. That's why we love psychoframe so much. So we'll be waiting for that.
We'll be on the lookout, that's for sure. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely in the next coming weeks.
Okay, pretty soon. Okay. I thought you meant like in the future. Okay, it's fairly soon.
Yeah, I just have to. It's all just setting things into place. I'm waiting for my fucking friend to come back so we can work on it.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, cool, man. Well, where can the people find you?
Fucking Instagram at Leo Mcclain _. Either that or the psychoframe shits.
There we go. I put it in chat if anyone wants to check it out and isn't aware already. But yeah, thank you so much, man.
Thanks again. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have a great night, and we'll keep in touch. All right.
Dude, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Catch you soon, man.